Hi everybody. Today I get to share one of my favorite video game collections, and it's a Nintendo system that was exclusively released in Japan. The one I'm talking about is the Nintendo 64 DD, and it's an accessory type system to the Nintendo 64 that provided additional gaming capabilities. There were two different retail versions of this system. One was a full retail version, the other one was a RadNet starter kit. And this RadNet starter kit was a set or a kit that you would get when you subscribe to a specialty online service in Japan called RadNet. Now, it came with a Nintendo 64 modem, which is a cartridge that you would connect to the top of the Nintendo 64, and also came with a little software type that lets you connect online, and it had some chat capabilities and some additional capabilities in there for browsing the internet in those early days. The manuals, and for the system itself, the system was a magnetic floppy disk system that connected to the bottom of the Nintendo 64. It had a whopping 64 megabytes capability, but one of the unique features of this system was that it could also write onto the floppy. And that gave significant flexibility for creative purposes against games. To be able to use the system, you had to have the memory expansion pack on the Nintendo 64 as well. Overall, only 15,000 copies of this RadNet system were sold. And ultimately it was considered, unfortunately, a commercial failure. And that limited its release outside of Japan, especially considering in those early days the connectivity for internet services was still very limited globally. There were overall 10 softwares or 10 pieces of software released for the system. This was one of them, as I described earlier. And then it had actually 4 different Mario games for the system, which, if you consider about the short lifespan that it had and the limited amount of 10 software, having 4 Mario titles is impressive. These were mainly creative type games, and it included Mario Artist Paint, Mario Artist Talent Studio, Mario Artist Communication Kit, and Mario Artist Polygon Studio. So here you have the 4 different Marios, and some of them would come. So this is the communication kit. It came with a little microphone accessory connector, and here you can see Mario rocking it out, singing. The Mario Paint, you would get to paint and paint some of the more classic Nintendo characters, coloring them in. Now this complete series is pretty limited and definitely a collector's item. One of the cooler ones is F-Zero expansion kit, and this provided additional tracks and levels for F-Zero. Now these magnetic tapes are pretty neat. They would come with a little sticker that you could label them and provide some custom comments in there related to your save games or what you're doing with them. They have the manuals in them, and the cartridge or the floppy disk itself. This is what they look like. Pretty neat. And again, a whopping 64 megabytes of storage capability in them. You had SimCity. And then you had 2 Doshin the Giant games. This was the first one. And this was the second Doshin the Giant. This one is one of the rarer titles in this complete set, and definitely a different game. If you ever get curious and want to see some wild gameplay, check this one out online and some of the other reviews you can find out there. And the last title that was released, or the complete set, is a golf game. This is the rarest game of this complete set, and it's pretty hard to find nowadays. This is one of my favorite systems and collections. Part of it just the exotic nature of it, and part of it just the desire that they had expanded it and done a little bit more with the system, especially outside of Japan. If you ever had the opportunity to play with one of these, I'd love to hear from you what your thoughts were. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.